Im Olah Korbano. If he's bringing a Korban Olah, min habakar, from the cattle, Zachar Tamim Yakrivenu, should bring it male and complete El Pesach Ol Moed, to the entrance of the 10th of meeting. Yakrivo so should bring it, Lirtzono, to be desired for him, Lifnei Havaya Chulu, in front of Hashem. Parshas Vayikra Dibur Hamaskil Dafes from the Bay, Zeir, Me Paso Kilo Machshvosechem. And Parshas Vayikra, Stamen Zohar Kadosh, it brings from the verse that my thoughts are not like your thoughts. Ki machshav ilah umikur kol haisavus. That the supernal thought is the source of all creation. Kumavur b'pardis shayud aleph perek gimel, like it's brought in Pardis as well. And look what it says in the Mamar on the explanation on Yonasi. And look in the Mamar Basi Lagani concerning how deep are your thoughts. And look in the Pardis when it talks about the definition of thought. Now, we know that Israel came up in thought. And look in the Biorim on Yonasi. Because of the enclothment of the soul and the body, so it says, my thoughts are not like your thoughts, and my ways are not like your ways. That because my ways are not like your ways, that's why your thoughts are not like my thoughts. So it's dependent because our ways are not like his ways. That's why the thoughts are not like the thoughts. And because of the enclothment of the soul and the body. Like it's brought in the Mamar, who will give me like a brother, like someone attached. Therefore, the Korbano Olah. All this is to say that when you bring a Korban Olah, it's brought forth thought for things that you thought in your mind. That is to fix this concept of the spirit of man that goes up. So the pasuk is right. Ruach Behema Yored Eslamata, and the Ruach Adam Olah. So when you have the Ruach Behema being with a tikkun for the ruach behema, so that you have a tikkun for the ruach adam ha'olah. And that is that it should be as we were first came up into Hashem's thought, alu b'machshava, so inyan olah, and that's why it's called the Korban Olah, because it's brought on machshava to go back to the machshava ilah. And look what it's brought in Parshas Maseh concerning the concept of the travel to their motza, to their source. The motzaihem means their root and their source. And look what it's brought in the Mamar. They should bring an Olah, a Korban Olah, as a fire to Hashem. B'dibur hamaskil azinu hashamayim, b'dibur hamaskil yonasi, binyan kumi l'chira yasi, the bechinas kaf yud, that you should get up. So it's brought in Mamar Yonasi about you should get about the pasuk in Shirashim. You should get up, l'chi, and go, my beloved, l'rayasi, the bechinas kaf yud chulu. That to the concept of l'chi is to the kaf yud chulu. Explains it over there. That it says that Olah goes up to Keser. That's the Kaf. And the Yud maybe it's Chachma. So the Me'or says that Olah goes up to Keser. V'ayin Reish Parshas Tzav. B'Haramaz Sham Nimtza Ha'olah Hu Shiyeh B'chinas Machshvosam Machshvosechem Nechlalos B'Machshavayla. That is, that your thoughts should be included and go up to the supernal thought. The elevation of the thoughts upwards. B'Me'or Sham Olah Leah. And the Me'or says that Olah corresponds with Leah. V'ayin Minyan Leah Gabe Shoshana Bos Shin. And look what the Me'or says concerning the rose, the Shoshana. It says, Sif Kaf Gimel, V'tchilas Oslamen, V'nyan Shi Kula Kalil, and the concept that the Korbano is completely burnt up. Ein B'Me'or, V'ayin Baramaz, Rish Parshas Po, V'ayin Mashikos, B'dibra Maskov V'amata Aleim, Korbani Lachmi, V'inyan Basar Gidim Atzamos, Shekula Misalim. That there's this concept of, so look at the Mamar where it talks about how it's my bread, the Korbanos are like bread, and they have the concept of flesh and sinew and bone, and each one corresponds with a different idea, and all of these concepts are elevated. Vayin beParshas Truma Kuf Lamed Beis B'inyan Shemab Salik V'lo Nachis, and look. And Zohar Truma talks about how Shemab goes only upward and doesn't go downward. And that's like the Inyan of the Korban, that it goes completely upward. The Korban Olah is completely burned. So Imula Korbano, so the word Korbano, B'Me'or, Os Kuf Simin Kaf Aleph, Korban Kriva Dukut Shebrichu, B'Shchinta, that a Korban is drawing close the Holy One, blessed be He, together with the Shechina. Val Shem Korban Gematria Arichampin. And also because Shechina is the Gematria of Arichampin, Vayin beParshas Tzav, Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph. So, and look in Zohar Tzav, it says, Tachazi, come and see, Chayav Alma, Garmin Le, Likuchibich, Listalka, Meknesis Israel Chulu, that the people who sin in the world, because the Holy One, blessed be He, to be removed from the fount of the souls of Israel. Also, Aaron Chulu. So Aaron came by Al Yadam Iskarvin Tarvai Chulu, and then the two of them, the Kuchibrichu and the Knesset Israel, are come close again. If so, this closeness that is caused through the Korban Olah, it's similar to the idea of including the name of Adnai with the name of Havaya, that you have the concept of Knesset Yisrael Malchus, Shem Adnai, and you have the Kuchibrichu, Shem Havaya. And in Pardes, when it talks about Korban, when it talks about the Korban Olah, it says it's the elevation of Zah Nukva to Bina. So there, it's an Aliyah for both ideas, Zah and Nukva, not just a Yichud. Kam hevi me Parshas Noach, v'yish lahayim in Shalom Shalom Rachel Vayikra, and he also brings from Parshas Noach. We can also awaken to this idea of peace, peace, to those who are far and those who are near. So you have the concept of the far who came near, and that's the Korban as well. And look in V'daitayom, and similar to this idea of that something far that came from far away, that became close. That's the concept of tshuva. That's the Korban Olah. That the spirit should return. This is all the concept of karov, of Korbano. That to be a nation that's close. And look what's brought on the verse, a constant elevation, a constant Olah. Also to awaken from the pasuk. In Mishlei, if it's better to have a close relative than a faraway brother. I'm berabos rish Parshas Yisro. Ubeme or oskuf sif mem gimel bos shin sif mem aleph. Look in those places that it says mina bakar in shnei masar bakar. Now this concept of the 12 cattle shehem bibria, that the yam was on top of them in the Beis Hamikdash, they correspond with the world of Bria. Hem shorish nefesh abahamis. That's the source of this, the root of the animalistic soul. Gam yud beis shvatim nikar yud beis bakar. Also, the 12 tribes are called the 12 cattle shem bibria. Gam yud beis shvatim nikar yud beis bakar ki neshamos te'atzilus zera adam v'neshamos te'viah zera behema. Because the neshamas of the world of Atzilus, they're called the seed of man, and the neshamas of the worlds of Yitzir and Asiyah are called the seed of the animals. So the Merkaf Tatata, the Yud Beis Bakar, the Yud Beis Shvatim in the world of Bria. So that's Zera Behema, and the Yud Beis Bakar, Kineshamos de Atzilus, Zera Adam. So it also the 12 Bakar corresponds with the neshamos, the lower neshamos. And look what it's brought in explaining the idea of a group of cattle, of three cattle together, each one attached, each group of three cattle attached. Parshas told us Vayikra. So look in these places, and in Vayikra it says the end of the thought. Bakar Yesod. That says why it says Bakar, that cattle is the concept of the is the level of Yisod. And why is it the level of Yisod? We must say that it's close to the language of morning, when morning is Yisod. Boker de Yosef and Boker de Yaakov. What's the end of that thought? Because the Yisod of Abba is enclosed in the Yisod of Zeranpin. So that's the end of the thought, the Yisod of Abba, as it's in Zeranpin. So also because of thought, if the Korbano, like he brought before his thought, so it's connected to Yisod, because through thought the limb is awakened and so forth, the limb of Yisod. And this that comes up from thought, and then therefore it comes from the cattle, the halos haiskashus machshavela, to elevate the connection to the supernal thought, lios mekusherbo is barich, to be connected to him and be blessed, because with a strong connection. So it's a concept of Yisod is a kesher. So the concept of the elevation is also a concept of Yisod, to be attached and connected. The concept of Yisod, Yiskashus, find Parshas Vayikra, Tafresh Mem Zayin Sufam and Beis al Pasuk Baboker Yochalad, and look in Zohar Vayikra, when it talks about in the morning you'll eat until. And look further what it says on return Israel, and until Gam Boker Lashon Bakar Lashon Uluvakir Bechela. Also the language of cattle is the language of to meet. and to take a visit in Hashem's Heichal, in his palace, in Shul and so forth. Tilim Kav Zayin Bikor Cholim Lo Yevaker Ben Tov L'Ra, to go and visit the sick, and you will not make a distinction between good and bad. That is, displace your way in the proper way. So levaker, so bakar is a concept of visiting or going a proper way. Okay, the next word in the pasuk, zachar. So you have im Olah Korbano, zachar. So zachar min ein mizeh b'Parshas Vayikra daf reish mem vav sof Mamar Aleph vayuvni masha kasuv b'dibur hamaskil so stasis v'inyan isha mazras tchila yoled zachar. You can understand this with the concept of how if the female is roused first, so this begets a male, and that's the concept of a great love, a masculine love from above, which is not the case with women. So their das is light. So therefore, in this context, so it means that the love is not as intense from above, because you don't have the arousal from above. So if you have a male arousal first, so it causes a feminine concept, which is lighter and not as intense a love. Olah. So this is all in the concept of zachar. Why the korban needs to be zachar, a male. And in order to have a korban olah to go upwards, you have to have the intense love, the great love of Avarabba that we were talking about, which is not the case with the smaller love. It cannot be elevated as much above. Parshas Vayikra daf vav amud aleph, Parshas Tazria daf mem tes amud aleph, Pardes erech zachor b'me'orei os zayin sifir beis tamim. So look at all these places. Ein mashakaz minyan Mamar reish Parshas Noach b'inyan tzadik tamim, and look at the Mamar, the beginning of Noach, concerning complete tzadik. Ein mashakaz al pasuk va'ira el chulu b'inyan perush yisalek lefanai ve'yatamim. And look what is brought in the Mamar, but that explains, go in front of me and be complete. So this is at the end of this paragraph here. So he's bringing the concept of tamim, but he doesn't go into it. He just brings the Mamar Makomos for the concept of tamim. So Yakriva, so Lirtzono, the next part of the pasuk, should bring it for his desire. Amr Razal. What does it mean, Lirtzono, to his desire? Kofino soachi yomer rotzeani, that we force him until he says, I want to. Vainu shezeu, in iskafia, mevor b'dibur hamaskil zachor de'amalek. This is the concept of iskafia, that the bending of oneself. That so what does it mean? You bring the korban in a way of iskafia, so you come to the concept of hishafcha, of changing darkness to light. The concept of desire, of will. The Me'orior explains, see Flamed Beis, Ratzon Nikra Hayisod shall call parts of Hamarat Elonok V'chulu Ad Kanashunot. The Ratzon is the yisod of each parts of that appeases the feminine aspect. So you have a concept of Ratzon being yisod. Even though in general we say Ratzon is a concept of Arich, here we're saying it's a concept of yisod. And that's like a person making peace at home. And look what the Me'orior says concerning a time of will. Moshe is the source of will. However, in Bardes, it does bring it like Ratzon. It's the divine flow that comes from the supernal ground. It gives desire and so forth, and appeasement. Achish Lomar Mshachazunim Shachaides Haisodchul. However, we could say the Tzemach Tzedek is Matavich between the two, and says that the Keser Elyon is Menatze. It's drawn to Yisod, so they don't necessarily contradict these two perushim. Vayin Parshas Miketz Kuf Tzadik Dalet Amud Beis Al Pasuk Vayiritzu Chulu Rotzeh Hashem Chulu. And look in Miketz that they brought him up from the bor Vayiritzu Min Bor, from the language of Ratzon. What's Vayiritzu Rotzeh Hashem Chulu? It's Hashem wanted. So the concept of the bor is the concept of Yisod. So you have there a concept of Ratzon and Yisod. So min habor. So from these, so you have the concept of Ratzon. V'yitzuhu min habor. V'zeu must be l'chol chai Ratzon. And this is the concept of he gives, satiates for all desire, for all living, their desire, their will. And this is the concept of the pnimis of the Yisod. This comes from the inner concept of Yisod, this fulfilling of will. So that's the concept of masbia, that it gives over. It's a flow. And look further in Parshas Miketz in the Zohar Kadosh, Perush. Yosef hu hashalit dashim shechulu, that Yosef is the ruler, that refers to the son, and so forth. Yosef is Yisod, and as he is the ruler, so that's the concept of the son. It's so if that's the case, then when it says l'ritzono, the concept of Yisod, you have to bring it to the entrance of the. When it says you should bring it to the entrance of the Oel Moed, l'ritzono, to his will, it's in order to have this revelation of the supernal will, Beknesses Yisrael, in the soul, found to the souls of Israel, Shibichinas Pesach, Zeashar, Havaya, which is the concept of the entrance. This is the gate to Hashem. The concept of Malchus is the beginning, the gate to Hashem, the Yiratatav, the Nikres Gamkin, Lifnei Havaya. It's also called in front of Hashem, Ritzono Lifnei Hashem. Much because of Parshas Truma Daf Kufayin, that the drawing down the Ratzon to Malchus, so the Knesset Yisrael is called in front of Hashem, and this is all a concept of Olah, which is Machshava, Korbano, which is the closeness, Yichudzun, and Zachar. So you should have a revelation like Zachar, Avarabba, Yakriva Soler Zono, that it should be Hamshach of Pnimis Haysod, Lifnei Hashem, to Malchus, to Knesset Yisrael.